So Simon, championship opener ends in a draw. You're disappointed not to be leaving with the 2 points today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously disappointed. Yeah, I thought the effort that we put in, you know, because considering we went into the game down 2 middles, you know, through isolation and different things, so that hurt us going into the game. We had to face a little bit of adversity going into it, and then, you know, we lost Cookie just before half time, so we're playing with 3 middles. You know, Cluffy played 80 minutes, which was a huge effort. Uribe again played 50, 60 minutes straight. So we were doing it tough, but the effort they put in, you know, it's disappointing to only draw, and we're frustrated because I thought, you know, we spoke about before the game that the smartest team would win today, and all them things that I just spoke about, you know, the loss of the middles in the week, the loss of the middles in the game. If we're smart, we win the game. So, you know, as much as them things hurt us, all them losses, if we're smart, we win. So, you know, and that's across the board. It's not down to our pivots, and it's every, you know, 1 to 17. We just, at times, we just weren't smart enough with them without the ball, and in the end, it cost us because it put us under pressures, you know, that 15, 16 minutes to go. They never looked like scoring. But we weren't smart enough, and in this game, if you don't do the right thing with them without the ball, and you don't play the game clever, then, you know, you put yourselves under pressure, and that's what we did.
You mentioned the lack of middles there, and was the turning point when you lose one to a sin binning as well?
Oh, not so much the sin, because they were down to 12. So, you know, it wasn't one thing that hurt us. Just across the board, we weren't smart enough, and again, that was with the ball. We weren't smart at times. And without the ball, we weren't smart. So, and like I say, that creates and builds pressure against yourself, which it didn't need to be because we were comfortable. We were defending well enough, and they weren't throwing enough at us to hurt us. So, but if you're not smart enough, often enough, you put yourself under pressure, and that's what we did. And then it becomes frantic, and once it becomes that, then it's a coin toss, which it was at the end. And that sort of suited Newcastle, and it didn't suit us because of all them not so clever things in rugby caught up with us in the end. And as much as our effort was fantastic and our commitment was unreal because of the subs and the lack of middles, that doesn't get you everything in this game. You've got to have them things with smarts, and we didn't have smarts. So we come away with a draw, but it feels like a loss. But, you know, we'll learn because we're a new group and we're not in these pressure situations yet together. So we are now. We've learnt something today, how to handle that, and next time we're in that sort of scenario, we'll be better for it, and we'll adapt and come through it. But that doesn't help us today because, you know, that game's been and gone, and you know, you learn your lessons after the fact. So again, it's good that we didn't lose because, you know, that keeps a little bit of momentum, but we're frustrated.
And there's a big play on the stroke at half-time there from Dion and Jack that puts you 14 points up. Is it disappointing that you don't kick on in the second half and put more points on the board? Well,
not so much that we didn't kick on and put points on the board because we didn't need to. We're in control, and again, that becomes smarts with and without the ball. We come up with some loose plays in attack and some not so good plays in defence, but around being clever. So, and that's why we don't need to be frantic because we've got super plays in us like that one before half time. We defend 2-3 back-to-back good ball sets, and then our backfield come up with that, you know, it's a great try off the back of nothing. So at no point should we ever feel like we have to feel that we're not in control because we've got them plays in us. So we just need to, but again, we're learning as a group, and it's our 3rd game together. So we'll get better, but again, that doesn't change today. Like, we'll go home frustrated and annoyed, and because we should have seen the game out. But it's a lesson learned again.
Matt Cook, we lost him quite early on in the first half. What's the assessment on him so far?
He just had a back spasm, and as much as he wanted to go back out there, he couldn't. So, you know, these things happen. You know, they tend to happen when you don't want it to happen in a certain position. Like today, we probably couldn't afford to lose any more middles, but that's rugby, isn't it? You know, that's going to happen every week. You lose certain players, and you know, we got to find ways to adapt and get on with it, and we did to a point. But again, I can't use these things as an excuse because we should have seen the game out and we didn't.
back to the cup competition next week as well. Is it important that you shake this feeling of disappointment and go into that with an open mind, that you're going up against a good Super League side and you've got a chance to show your ability against them? Yeah,
we've got to feel the hurt. I mean, I don't want us to forget about it immediately. I think we've got to feel that pain, and we've got to feel it for a few days to make sure that, you know, what that feels like, so we don't want to see it again or feel it again. But again, we've got to be resilient next week. We're going to have assess where we are with our middles again going into that game, and we're certainly not going to have a few back. But that's the way the game is at the moment. We're going to have bodies dropping here and there, and I've got a good enough squad to adapt. We just got to find that smartness in games and be resilient like we were, and we'll be okay.